I have a question about contributions. I'm curious, are you seeing more pull requests now? And if so, are they better or worse? Can you actually tell when someone used AI to write the code? Is there a pattern you notice?
Good question, because actually it's happening, at least in Meteor. We are getting more quantity of contributions, but quantity is not the same of quality. And the AI has lowered, I would say, the barrier of experimentation, which again, this is a good thing. It's making things faster. It's increasing the amount of contributions. People at least try to do more, even in repositories they don't understand. And I really like that. But the thing is, what about meaningful contributions? Because contributions is not just about generating code. It's just about responsibility, ownership of the work that you are doing. You need to respect the system and the changes that you are doing. You need to iterate over those problems, those solutions. You need to verify. So there is some kind of human supervision that I think is missing in many of the contributions. And that makes the difference between some contributions that are quality and quantity. So nowadays, hopefully, we can get both. We can get this break ice, I was saying, to people to explore, but also to be open to the next step, which is actually iterate over those solutions and make them better.
Yeah, I think in our case, we have been lucky. I haven't really seen many sloppy PRs where like people have no idea what they are doing. Maybe in like past couple of days, I might have been through like 15, 20 PRs and none of them really felt like people using AI and they have no idea what they are doing. Of course, they might have used AI to speed things up. It was not like just sloppy that they asked AI, it was built and then they submitted it without any thought. So yeah, haven't seen that happening in our case at large.
Do you worry that developers are skipping the fundamentals? Like they can build something with AI, it works, but they don't really understand what's happening under the hood. Is that a problem or I'm just being old school?
Developers skipping fundamentals is like more of a thing I have seen happening even before AI. It's like different with every generation. People who, like started way before I started programming would have like learned some fundamentals that I skipped. Then I started in the era where, like things were like less framework first. And, like we used to write PHP, one big file, and you were like more directly interacting with everything. So I, like learned and like some fundamentals over there while working, while building the framework. I learned some of the key concepts that I saw like a lot of people skipping. And with AI, of course, that accelerate, because now earlier, if you didn't really know the fundamentals, you might fail very early. But now maybe you are able to like go way ahead and being able to like build something without having any idea of how things work under the hood and if they will break, how you will debug them. So yeah, I think AI does like accelerate that, but this pattern has been pretty much the same even before that.
Yeah, I was talking before about the fundamentals. So it's true that developers in general now have the opportunity to just focus on outcomes, as I said. But, maybe it's enough, and maybe even the market can absorb those kind of solutions without diving into fundamentals. You just can create an application and solve a problem, and that is enough, and you don't need more. But I believe if you want to get something that provides an extra value, if you want to go a step forward, you will always need to challenge AI, challenge the answer that you get in order to get something new from that existing knowledge that you get from the AI. So I really think nowadays, even the distinction between developers will be maybe more into proactive development or passive development, in the sense that maybe passive development will just focus on prompting and a specific solution, and proactive one will make the most out of it by challenging a little bit the status of the solutions they get and diving more into fundamentals at the end of the day, because it's the only way to challenge something to really understand how are behind the scenes.